What's up, everybody? Oh, nice. We got 170 people already. It's been a while since I did it live, but it's good to be back. I got to tell you, you guys asked a bunch of really good questions on Twitter. I really appreciate that. I really just appreciate all of you giving all this support. Nearly 5,000 of you at such an early stage of this amazing journey that Metahero will be and is. I'll get to the questions in a little bit, but to start, I wanted to kind of give you just a little bit of context to understand where all this came from. So for those of you that maybe don't know me, I had been building this company called CodeWise for almost 10 years, which was sold last year. Um, and as soon as I sold it, I was already quite deep in crypto at that point. I decided that I'm gonna sell everything. I sold my two I sold my apartments, I sold my car. Um, I I sold everything I had that I didn't need, and I put it all in crypto. At the beginning of this amazing bull run that we had at the end of 2020. So you can imagine I did quite well, but that's not really the point. The point is that I realized that crypto is the most important technology that has ever been invented in modern human history. There are multiple reasons for this, but namely, it is the only technology that I believe that can save mankind from total destruction, because that is the direction that we're currently floating towards. Total autocratic, governmental control and just corporations and governments and corrupt cahoots, cronyism, disparity of wealth. It's just filthy. It's disgusting. And the elites, they rob the everyday man and the woman of their liberty and of their money and their monetary energy that we sacrifice our lives to generate. And so, I see it as a urgent call to action because I've mentioned on a few interviews that I'm going to be a father this year. When I learned that I'm going to be a father, my whole perspective of the world changed. I realized that I'm bringing a new life into this world and that I need to get my shit together and make sure that my child will have a future. Because at this point, the way I see the world, especially after COVID, if we don't do something, we're fucked. Um, you you see that the most autocratic nations on earth, including China very recently, are trying to hard ban all crypto. And that is because it is the single most threatening technology to their autocratic regimes. Turkey, Russia, China, a bunch of others are completely, trying to outright ban decentralized currencies because they are a threat to the one piece of their equation, which is their own currency, which allows them to control their people and hold on to their power in corrupt and in criminal ways. So, as I observed and as I invested and as I learned, I felt that I need to use my experience as an entrepreneur who managed to build one of the fastest growing companies in the world, self-funded. I realized that I need to use my experience as a marketer, that I have this ability that I've generated over a decade, that I know how to reach practically every single person on earth through advertising technology. That's what my previous business was. It was advertising technology. It was a company called CodeWise. We built very highly sophisticated solutions for reaching people online so that marketers could uh, use our technology to make people buy shit that they don't need. That's essentially what marketing is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but we were very, very good at it. And now we are bringing those learnings, that experience, our team, the funds that I've accumulated, my experience now with Tencent, which was incredible because I got to join forces with Jonas and see A to Z how it is done to launch a successful crypto project from inception to multi-$100 million valuation on a decentralized exchange with no VCs involved, no government involvement, no bureaucracy, no like unnecessary accounting, none of the dead weight of running a legacy business. It's the most incredible experience as an entrepreneur to start uh, a tokenized business, is what I would call Metahero. Of course, it has incredible utility, but starting a tokenized business is like a wet dream of any entrepreneur, and it will lower the barriers to entry and make it so easy for anyone in the near future. And I'm talking about a scale of maybe 5 to 10 years. We will no longer remember what it's like to go to a lawyer, to a notary, to sign some bullshit papers, to set up a legal entity. This will all be done seamlessly. You'll be all able to raise capital from your family, from your friends, from your community, from your, whoever you market to. It's gonna be a it's gonna become a tokenized world. I'm convinced of it. There's probably gonna be, in the further future, millions of tokens. Every individual on Earth will be able to have their own token, and they'll be all interoperable, interchangeable, all bridged together. It doesn't matter what chain they're on, Binance Smart Chain, if they're on Matic or Ethereum or whatever. It'll all be just playing together and it'll all be seamless. Money will become Our current form of money will become such a abstraction that in history books, our kids will be reading about this paper that was printed by these assholes who are greedy and corrupt, and it'll be an abstraction. But to make that future, come in a more timely manner, and so that the CBDCs, these centralized banking coins that will take away any last liberty that humans have, we need to move forward with mass adoption. And this is where I focused a lot of my research, is what can I do to move forward with the mass adoption? What can I do to help bring on the next 10 million people into crypto that are currently non-crypto, that maybe don't even care about crypto? Because most people that are in crypto right now, they're, speculators, investors. They like the excitement. Maybe even a lot of them are gamblers. Um, there's a whole piece of the population that doesn't care for that stuff. They like their calm life. They like to live, not thinking about money all the time. They don't even care about their bank account. I would say that's probably the majority of people on Earth. So I started thinking, how can I tap to these uh, into these demographics? My background's a gamer. I used to be a really hardcore gamer as a young kid and a teenager. I was super into Counter Strike. I was actually one of the top players in Poland. That was like when I was 12. So uh, I played a lot of RTS games. Like I gamified code wise. That's why I was so successful, because I treated it like nothing more than a game, and money was just like this high score. I didn't take it very seriously, but not in this like, childish, playful way. I didn't take it seriously. Like, um, I didn't get too stressed about it, and I could make very bold decisions that other people would shy away from. I think that's if someone were to ask me, like, what is it that makes me different from most other people, I would just say that I am very comfortable knowing that I don't know anything. And I know that nobody else on earth knows anything. We're all just pretending. We're all just children pretending to be adults. But my secret is that I know that nobody else knows that I don't know anything. So that gives me the complete sort of freedom to do whatever the hell I think is right to do in any given moment. Improvising is what entrepreneurship is. Building anything and new is improvisation. Nobody's ever done it before. So how the hell are you supposed to know what you're to do? It's the uncertainty that crushes every single human, because dealing with uncertainty is intense. And that is why I know Metahero will become huge. Like I cannot even tell you how huge this potential is. It's not even billions of dollars. It's potentially trillions. And I shit you not. The metaverse, digitization of everything, uh, it just opens the door to infinite possibilities of new, non-existing currently businesses and industries. It's mind-boggling. And I am lucky enough that my close friend, who I often just refer to as Polish Elon Musk because he prefers to remain anonymous, he is a fucking genius, and the stuff that he does with technology, this meta scanner that he built with his team, this took him years to build. I'm talking about, you might think it's just 64 cameras wired up together. No, this is state of the art shit. They had to find the right type of metal to conduct the signal from the cameras to the server that processes the output. to lower the millis, like to lower it by 1/10,000th of a second, so there weren't shadows on the models. Do you understand? This is like science fiction stuff, and nobody else has done anything like it. So when someone tells me, "Hey, what about the iPhone with lidar?" I'm like, that's ridiculous. There's no comparison of this technology in terms of the definition, versus like some iPhone, gypsy iPhone, scanning your body into some 3D model at home. What are you gonna do? Like stand in your underwear and your wife is gonna, your girlfriend's gonna scan you, and that doesn't sound very heroic. But obviously, that's going to be a part of the whole thing because not everyone will be able to perhaps afford this ultra HD scan. But, there's 2.7 billion gamers on Earth. My goal is 10 million people to start. Uh, 1% of 2.7 billion is already 27 million people. Our offering initially will be very premium. We're not going after some mass market solution to scan every human on Earth. That's ridiculous. You know, think of it this way. Imagine that we place the first highest definition metascanner on Earth in a commercialized B2C manner where any person with the hero token can come and scan themselves. Guess who we're going to invite first? We're going to invite the biggest celebrities and influencers on Earth who have tens of millions of followers, because what these people need is content. And going into this Metascanner, you've seen the video. It looks way cooler in real life. It's the craziest futuristic experience you can have, I think. One of the most futuristic experiences you can have on Earth right now is scanning yourself in ultra high definition that you cannot tell the difference between your scan and yourself. So imagine that we bring in these gigantic influencers, whatever, Instagram YouTubers. They come in, they film an episode, how this whole thing is done, and then tens of millions of people immediately find out about Metahero and they all want it or whatever, they all want to invest. It creates this self-propelling marketing machine that's unstoppable because you don't have to pay anyone to come use it. They will just want to do that. Scan celebrities, have them sell it as NFTs. We're gonna have a mobile unit that will be shipped around to museums that they can digitize their whole art collections. Like they can rent it for a week and digitize 100,000 pieces works of art and create an additional revenue stream. Wolf Group, the guys behind the Metascanner, the subdivision is called the Wolf Studio. This thing has already been in use for 3 years. So CD Projekt, which is one of the biggest and most successful game developers in the world, they use this technology to make the most graphically incredible game, which is Cyberpunk 2077. Um, this is how this technology helped them, to give you a bit of perspective about the already existing use cases. What they did is they came to the Wolf Studio, which is in Warsaw, Poland, and they scanned all of their employees. And what they did with these scans, they used the textures to upload them into their game for modeling the NPC units. And what they did in 2 days saved them 1.5 years of work. So, when you're playing a computer game and you see an NPC model or whatever. It's created by an artist. The nails, the fingers, the details. Because if you render something that's perfect and symmetrical, it looks unnatural and it looks ridiculous. So human artists have to make these models and literally spend 500 to 600 hours per model. And what this technology allowed CD Projekt to do is scan their employees in real time, use their skin, their pores, every texture was perfect, and they ported it into the game. Do you know what this means for all game developers in the future? That this will be the ultimate solution for creating the most realistic experience any game can have. Um, CD Projekt had, I think, a few hundred of these models, so they would repeat in the game. But now imagine that anyone who scans himself in the meta chamber, they can now set the digital rights to their own scan. So if I scan myself, I can set that I am okay with game developers using my model in their games. And then whenever they do, I would get paid royalties in hero token. we could probably create an ecosystem where it becomes over time profitable to go and pay for your scan and then lease it or whatever you want to call it to game developers. Say GTA. Imagine a GTA like GTA 6 with 1 million humans, unique, all from the Metascanner, all walking around the city, all looking realistic as hell because they're real humans. Like this is the future. And another argument people have is that, hey, I'm myself every day. Why would I want to be myself again in the game? And I'm like, okay, well, shit. I don't know about you, but anytime I played like a game like Oblivion or some role playing game, I would usually spend hours in character creation trying to make them look a little bit similar to myself so that I can feel like it's me in the game. There's a large population of the gamer community that likes to be themselves in the game. They don't feel the need to escape their own reality because I don't know, they're overweight in real life and they want to be a skinny, nice blue looking elf in the game. That's those people can go role play in the World of Warcraft or whatever and create their little avatars and different solutions. There'll be something for everyone, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, the ultimate goal is moving forward with crypto mass adoption, and this is my manifestation of this duty and calling that I feel that I need to do something because otherwise the world will go and descend into darkness, into centralized currencies that will just take away any last bit of privacy that we thought we had because we already have very, very little. What do you think will happen if the US, China, and EU implements CBDC? Like, it'll be too late for decentralized currencies to rise up and kind of push that aside. So this is the time, and I believe in the next decade there's going to be a race between decentralized cryptocurrencies and centralized solutions, because they know the people in power, as late John McAfee said. He said that humans have two sides to them. They have this gentle, loving, kind of caring, graceful side, and then they have this greedy, fearful, like aggressive side. And that second side is the one that goes after power. And that is the ego. Everybody who is in a position of power does so with the not through love, but they do it through aggression and through greed. And such people want to keep their positions of power, and they're not there to help us. They're there to help themselves and their crony friends and all of that. So to dismantle this corrupt and broken system that we're living in currently, crypto is the only key that we have, and it will also solve climate crisis in the longer run, because as long as corporations are in cahoots with politicians, there will be nothing done to stop using fossil fuels, because there's too much money fueling the petrodollar, fueling this whole economy run on this insanity. We have all the technology necessary to create a sustainable, beautiful world that's going to be around until the sun engulfs it or whatever, however else it might end. And that is why cryptocurrencies, to me, they bring out the I would say the best of me, but in this positive aggression that I am out to tackle what I see as what I need to do. And I was inspired by Celsius Network, which is an amazing company that's looking to obliterate traditional banks, which have no right to really exist anymore, because they're just crooked, corrupt entities that suck and drain the population of their money on every corner, and because they're allowed to. And they have no need. We have no more need for them with DeFi and just the distributed ledger coupled with Visa and MasterCard. Banks are obsolete. Who the hell needs them? So we just need to educate people, raise awareness, and go towards mass adoption. And Metahero is an embodiment of that. And I believe we can get the first 10 million people into crypto, and then the next 100 million. I already have an idea of how to do that, but maybe enough of my rants. It's been 20 minutes. Jeez. I'm going to get to the questions now. This is maybe what all of you have, many of you have been waiting for. So these are off Twitter. So thank you for these questions. Jakub asks, Rob, did you always have a vision about making a big project like Metahero, or did it just come to you one day when you realized that crypto is the future? Yeah, so tying into what I just said, it came to me like a eureka moment. It just kind of felt like all these puzzle pieces came together, and it just became obvious to me that this is something that I need to investigate. And for the past half year, that's what I've been doing. I've been getting the team together. I've been validating my ideas and seeing if they're actually implementable. Talking with Wolf Group and seeing how they feel about it. And this has been our soft launch. Like, we're being very quiet right now. The marketing is very limited. This thing is going to explode. So July 5th is when we're planning our listing on PancakeSwap. That's when the market will kind of verify what we've delivered. I'm doing this live because there's so many scams out there, so many anonymous teams. I think anytime there's an anonymous team, you should think twice about even reading the white paper. Like, why are you being anonymous? I know it's comfortable to be anonymous, uh, but you should be suspicious of anyone that's like hiding behind anything. So this is important to do these lives and connect with the community to show that we're serious. Marco asked, if you stood aside and had to invest in this project, what would convince you the most and why? Well, as an experienced investor, I can tell you that projects and ideas don't mean shit. It's the team that stands behind them that is everything. People seem to have this fixation on ideas, that ideas are somehow important. They don't mean anything. It's execution is everything. There's very few people on earth that can execute any idea. Like, you can take the worst idea on earth and execute it perfectly, and you will have incredible success. You can take the best idea on earth and have some mediocre, gypsy like try to execute it. It's gonna fail. So look at the team. Look at what we've done in the past. You know, that is what I invest in as an investor. If you go on my LinkedIn, you'll see a bunch of investments where I simply looked at the founder, and then I know that the founder is a reflection of what that business has the potential to be. Um, Other than that, I am putting my whole bankroll behind Metahero. Like, the whole private and public raise is being permanently locked. I don't think many people understand this. We're raising, I forget what BNB, I think it's $300 now. So we're raising $3 million, and I'm locking it all up in the PancakeSwap liquidity pool permanently. There's no it's 4 years, like whatever safe moons or whatever those coins like lock up their liquidity for. You know, their model is lock it up for a year or two or three or four, and then when it unlocks, guess what they're gonna do with that money? We're permanently locking that shit up, and we've really written all the code. There's no forking in our project. We've really went to the core and tried to make this as efficient and as future proof as possible, because a lot of projects, they kind of just focus on starting and raising money. Because I'm not going to lie to you, most projects in crypto are run by people who are drawn in by the money because they don't have enough of it. I have enough of it. I don't need more. I don't want more. I can afford everything in this world many lifetimes over. What I want now is to help create a safe environment for my future kids and my future family. So that is what's driving me. This legacy, this I need to know that I tried to do something, because otherwise I won't be able to live with myself. So that's my answer to you, Marco. Actual Crip asked, do you have any companies interested in your technology? Well, Wolf Group works with CD Projekt. Like, that game would not have been what it is without them. So although we're not specifically talking to anyone yet, because I need to, there's so much going on. I need to like silo the execution. Otherwise, it's very overwhelming. Um, you know, I'm working again 16 to 18 hours a day. I'm not saying that to be boastful, but it reminds me of the early days of CodeWise when I was doing this for many years. Today, I'm going to be taking a break after this live, uh, because it's important just to keep a healthy balance. But it this is this is the stage where the market tells us if they like and believe you guys, if you like and believe what we're doing. And if you can understand the multi-billion-dollar potential of the business model, and I'm not talking about the tokenomics. You can't have tokenomics without utility in a business model to have long-term sustainable, just, a project. There's so many like these ridiculous meme coins. that are just empty marketing, and it pisses me off because they're scams at heart. They're just misleading people. And so that is one of the reasons we're also trying to bring this opportunity to more and more people so they can understand that that you can stop wasting your time trying to chase the 100x, whatever the hell, people are trying to, peddle to you. Look long term. If you can understand this opportunity that we will be one of the first players to put these machines to commercialize this insane scanning technology and put these machines all over the world. And in 2 years, Apple will be releasing their VR headsets. What do you think is going to happen? Uh, like, when this works, this will be so big that it actually hurts my brain. So yeah, the gaming companies will come to us. I'm not worried about that. FIFA, imagine them scanning every single player in the world, like in such realistic like detail that you wouldn't know if you're watching a game anymore or if this is real life. It's all going to happen because gaming is one of the fastest growing industries in the world. So is esports, and this is all going to be an integral part of that. And then there's the whole other thing of NFTs, scanning artwork, filming music videos in the thing, and it's endless. It's amazing. Uh, 21 HQ. Will a customer session be per scan, or will they pay for time frame, or scan several people objects? So that's our initial plan. Our initial business model is based on per scan. So we're going to be starting with just it takes around 2 minutes to scan someone and to output the model. Actually being in the chamber, it takes a few seconds to capture yourself. So you just got to get in the position, get out, and then you see your model. So it's not like we want to rush people and scan as many people as we can, but we will likely be just implementing to start a pay per scan, and later we'll be implementing ways that you can say lease time on the machine and have it like for a whole day if you have say a whole art collection that you need to scan or want to scan. So we're going to be flexible. It's all doable. Uh, Tomek says, when the project works, where do you see Metahero in 5 and 10 years? So, Wolf Group are a very, very, very ambitious group of individuals. The founder is one of those, is the smartest person I've ever met in my life. I think he's in ways more brilliant um, than Elon Musk. He, well, I'm perhaps not at liberty to talk about some of his plans outside of what we are working on together, but with Metahero, we see it becoming the largest database of digitized real world objects in the world. So what that means is, Sony is a good example. They have created the largest database of sounds and sound effects that every single movie studio and any sort of animation producers, they use it. We see us, we believe we're in a position to create something like that, except it'll be a digitized database of real world things. It can even be scans of grass from different parts of the world that game developers, can then come in, drag and drop into their games. Endless textures, endless objects, endless like furniture, animals, humans, what we already talked about, and all of it just in this sort of ecosystem fueled by the hero token. That's where we see this going. And that's why this is so mind-bogglingly exciting, because it can be if we do this right, kind of right, this will be easily one of the top 100 crypto projects. If we do this, like if we execute this perfectly, this will be a top 10 thing, because it'll be indispensable for every single game developer out there. Every single person will want to like scan themselves, or at least buy an NFT or something. It's just mind-blowing potential. So here we go, we're getting to Jonas's question. uh, what do you think about using the scanner in the porn industry? That's it's funny, and at the same time it's not so funny, because the porn industry is a fascinating one in the regard that they are always on the frontier of technology. They are the ones that decided that VHS won with Betamax. They are the ones that started using DVDs first. They are the ones that like got into VR. And so, if this technology can be licensed without the Metahero brand by, I don't know, like a Pornhub or whatever, or even making like erotic scans, not like hardcore pornography of just nude models, that would be huge. Imagine selling those NFTs. I mean, the adult industry, I don't know if you guys know, but most of the internet traffic in the world is used for pornography. Like, it's just human nature. It's a gigantic industry. It's not something that fits into the hero brand, so we're not planning any of that, but I'm sure someone from that industry is going to be knocking at our door, and whether or not we work with them, I'll just say that's to be seen. Um, okay, last question because it's 30 minutes. Hi, Robert. Will it be possible to join as a franchise business? Yes, absolutely. I see that as a critical sort of piece of the puzzle where any entrepreneur, any person with the amount, right amount of capital, right amount of hero token, because our machines are only purchasable with the use of our token as a to enhance the utility of the whole thing. Yes, you'll be able to in the future order one of these machines and run it as an extremely profitable business. You'll be able to lease it probably and pay us, automated, coded in royalties or franchise fees. I don't know what you call it in the franchise business. So like every scan, 30%, for example, goes back into the company reserves of Metahero, while you keep 70%. So it's just really exciting because you can code all of that in. There doesn't need to be like some weird contracts that we need to do this or that. It just happens in real time, and that's the beauty of tokenized businesses in the blockchain. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. Thank you for watching. There's 350 of you. That's more than I thought. This is, by the way, my old YouTube channel, which was where I put up. I had a bunch of vlogs before, and then I used it to do a podcast in Poland, which actually became one of the top podcasts in the country. And since then, since selling my business, I have deleted social media. When I say social media, I have in mind Instagram and Facebook. I believe everybody should delete those platforms. I think they're highly toxic and disgusting. They bring nothing good into your life. They only bring distraction. They lower your attention span and they make you feel depressed and shitty. I mean, when was the last time you went on Instagram and you got off? You're like, oh wow, I feel so much better now. It's just crap. It's designed to steal your life. I know how these platforms work because I'm from the advertising business. They're in the business of stealing your attention. So yeah, that's my maybe tip for the end of this video. Delete Instagram, delete Facebook. You don't need that crap. Twitter is for crypto. That's why I'm back on it. I had also deleted it, but I'm back on it. Yes, 2 days ago I actually deleted WhatsApp, and it feels great. Telegram is the way to go. Screw Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg can suck it. He's already working on VR advertising, ads, Facebook ads in the VR world. Like, god damn it, that's the last thing we need, man. So, yeah. On that note, thank you again. Thank you for your early support. We are really just getting started. I've been working my ass off, and I can finally kind of feel the manifestation of all this hard work. And July 5th, unless something like gets delayed, we will have I believe, a very, very exciting launch on PancakeSwap. And again, just thank you for your support and stick with us and just keep hodling and let's do this together. Take it easy. Peace.